officer. Your table will be ready in 4 minutes, 5 minutes. See you later.
Paul, just...
the champagne. I'm so sorry I was sidetracked. I'll see it comes in a moment or two.
There will be no champagne celebrations in the office, and you know it.
Oh?
Well, you sorted that with your nasty bit of news for poor old Jerry Henry. Quite wrecked the party before it had a chance to start, didn't you?
You puzzle me.
Oh, do I? Look, why did you have to tell him that?
Tell him what?
Oh, come on.
I merely said that in asking for champagne for himself, yourself, his wife, and the hunters, he may have asked for more than was needed.
Because his wife had gone off with Councillor...
I did not say that. My exact words were that I saw his wife leave the motel with Councillor Berry some minutes before. I did not suggest the conclusion all of you seem to have jumped to, that she'd gone somewhere with him.
Oh, word-splitting,
Not at all. It merely shows that I haven't got the suspicious slant of mind the rest of you have. And now, if you'll let me innocently go about my business.
You went to see her?
Yes.
But I thought Oliver said...
If I listened to Oliver, I'd sit here like the brave little woman and watch him make a complete mess of our lives.
So what happened?
I came off rather well, I thought. Huh? I was dreading it, of course, the actual confrontation, but there was nothing else for it. And I did learn something.
What?
You were right.
In what way?
She's not just a cheap little nobody.
I did tell you.
I believed she was. I had to. I needed to. But talking to her, well, gave me quite a different picture. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't like what I saw. I don't know what I expected, really. Shouting, screaming. When it didn't happen, it was humiliating to have to sit there and beg. But I did it. And there were times now and then when I'd catch her give a little look, which told me I was getting through. Hurt looks, wounds. And I should know. I've had enough of them. So, I don't think it's going to be all that impossible to get him back.
Good.
Don't sound so overjoyed, will you?
Listen, Sal, don't misunderstand me. I hope for your sake it's true. But I think you ought to consider the possibility that what you say about her doesn't necessarily make anything easier.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, had you been right about her being a cheap little nobody, it would hardly have mattered. It would have been all over in no time. But this is different. You know that now. It's not just a sordid little affair.
And you're going to turn it into something significant? Something meaningful, I suppose.
I don't have to, Sal. I think it is. And I think you'd do well to face it.
Over here, please, Suzette, if you would. Thank you very much.
I asked Mrs. Harvey to find you and cancel that order 10 minutes ago.
Oh, how obtuse of me. She did find me, but only upon reflection do I now realize she did do as you asked. Unfortunately, however, not in so many words. Oh, yes, I recollect now. She said distinctly that the little party had been wrecked before it could start, from which I deduced you might be in need of champagne more than ever.
Take that lolly water away.
Might not perhaps your wife like it to be left here? Or do you feel it would go flat before she returned? To cover both eventualities, I shall leave 2 bottles. The opened and the unopened. The latter, to state the obvious, would keep all night.
Why'd you bring the champagne in, Paul? Mrs. Harvey cancelled it.
Oh, just a little misunderstanding, Mrs. Hunter. It seems to be the night for misunderstandings, or should one merely hope so.
Well, that's enough.
Champagne? Enough champagne?
Enough of you.
I merely aim to serve.
Well, do so. In the dining room.
Shall I take...
Get out!
Unless I hear to the contrary, I assume while I should get out, I should also...
You can leave that.
Ah, a clear instruction. Thank you.
Well, why waste it? And why let him rattle you over nothing? I mean, do you really think that Valerie would let an absurd little man like that compromise her?
It is Valerie's habit to compromise herself. The identity of the man is immaterial once she's made up her mind.
Well, here's to your being as wrong about Valerie tonight as I'm sure you are.
If we're to drink to that remote possibility, it's as well that Ross left 2 bottles.
Why do you have to be such a killjoy?
I'm not.
You are. You're just making difficulties.
Oh, Sal, they're there. I can see them. I want you to.
I went through all that, talking to her, letting her see me cry, and I swore I'd never do that. And I came out of there hopeful, and you have to go and chuck it all away.
I think I'd better go. No, look,
Don't.
if we're going to
Look,
go...
all right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm obviously going to have to practice saying sorry. It's going to be a large part of my life from now on.
That is silly.
All right, then I'm silly and stupid, and you're wise and wonderful, and I don't deserve such a marvellous husband, let alone keep...
Sal, don't. Those things are not true, so don't say them. Now, come on. I just think it's better if you can be prepared for whatever happens.
Like what? You think he's going to stay with her, don't you?
It's a possibility.
Isn't it? Isn't. He couldn't stay with her, not for always. He couldn't do that.
He may think he can at the moment.
Well, he'll learn soon enough.
But in the meantime...
In the meantime, I'll do what I'm doing now. I'll wait. And while I'm waiting, I'll try and make things as easy as I can for him. Not because I want to. I want to scream blue murder. I want him to see some of the agony. I don't honestly believe he thinks it's there. Wouldn't be the way, though, would it, to show it? The way is to stay calm and dignified, to be forgiving and understanding, even to be loving in spite of everything. How the hell am I going to do that? I'll find a way, though. I've got to. When something's mine by rights, I'll fight for it all the way.
And how long will that take?
About half an hour. I can't wait to see me.
Got it in one?
I'll be round and say, by 9 o'clock.
Yep. I'm at the office.
What?
The garage office.
What for? I rang earlier this afternoon. They said you'd left.
Well, I did, but I came back.
Well, what for?
Work.
Well, surely there's no need.
Yeah, well, I tend to work things out of my system.
Like what?
Like visits from angry wives.
I'll be right over.
Thank you.
Certainly collected a few things over the months, haven't you? Right, now, you sure this is the lot? No other little knickknacks you can't live without?
It's not too much, do you think?
No, they'll find room. They're upstairs now, clearing Ron's stuff out. I think we better put him in the living room for now.
Okay. What's he going to do if he decides to have a couple of weeks off and come on for holiday or something?
Oh, we got the camp bed and the put you up. No, don't worry about Ron. No problem.
Good.
You decided what to do with your furniture?
Yeah, a bloke came round this morning, offered me 30 quid for the 3-piece suite if I throw in the whole carpet.
30 quid? Let's see it. How much you give for it?
400 quid. Now, just put the last payment down the day Trina walked out.
Oh, you've got to get more than 30 quid for it, mate.
Yeah, the problem, though, mate, is time. Dobson wants me out. I've got nowhere to store it, and Mum's got no space.
He's got you over a barrel, mate. Dealer, was he?
Oh, he didn't say. But his eyes were all over the place.
Dealer. You watch. He'll be back in a fortnight offering to do you a big favour and pay you 100 for the lot.
Oh, no way, mate. I'd rather put a match to it. As a matter of fact, that's not such a bad idea. A sort of funeral pyre. Here lies Joe MacDonald, married man.
Hey.
Oh, it's all right. It's pretty funny leaving that place, you know. After all the struggle we had getting it, all the plans, all the things we were going to do, it's like it never really happened.
Extravagant.
Open the other bottle if you want some.
It's undrinkably tepid. The ice has melted.
Well, it's been there 3 hours. More.
You going to eat? It's not too late. Dining room's still open. Or I could have something sent in. Determined to be depressed, eh? Now, listen, your married life is none of my business. But there's a simple way of putting your suspicions at rest. Phone Berry's flat. See if she is there with him.
I think I haven't done that. Every half hour since 8 o'clock.
No answer each time?
Including just now.
Surely that's because there's nobody in the flat. Not Berry, not Valerie.
She's in the flat with him at this moment. She's been there all evening. That's where they went. From here. Straight there.
He's a counsellor of considerable self-importance. He'd never ignore his telephone for so long.
Dial his number yourself. There it is.
I don't want to speak to him, man.
I'm not asking you to speak to him. Just listen. The engaged signal. And that is the signal I have had every time I have rung. 6 times. His telephone's off the hook.
Could just as easily be out of order.
I've checked with the operator. There's nobody speaking on that line. Well, what other helpful suggestion can you come up with? That I should go down to the flat, knock on the door, and when they don't answer, shin up a drain pipe?
All you know for sure is that she strolled out of the motel the same time as he did. Has anyone reported seeing her get into his car? Or did he get into his car alone and she into yours alone? Each going his or her own way. Alone.
For the moment, alone is what I would like to be, David, if you don't mind. Switchboard. Ring through to the dining room, please. Ask Mr. Ross to step in here.
What the hell did you do that for?
She's desperate.
I told her, I warned her.
You can't blame her.
I made it perfectly clear she should talk to me and keep you out of this.
I'd do it.
What?
If the roles were reversed, I'd do it. I'd pester the life out of her. I'd camp on her doorstep.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Oh, yes, I would.
I wanted to keep all this from you. Been a bit of a failure, haven't I?
These things are going to happen, darling. When things are broken, there's a mess. She sat there on my settee, breaking her heart. I had to look at it.
Poor love.
And I don't know that I can bear it.
I'll see you don't have to.
Even the thought that...
What does that mean exactly?
that it should all stop.
No.
Might be best.
Is that all it means?
What?
One little bit of pressure and you crack up.
Oh, listen.
I thought we had enough going for us to withstand all that.
Oh, darling, you weren't there. You didn't hear.
Look, I've been on the receiving end enough to know what it's all about. This is the first time for you. You talk of calling a halt. All right. That's what it's all about. We're wasting time. It's not that slight, is it? Right. So no more talk about breaking it up.
Oh, sweetheart.
Well, this wouldn't have happened if I'd been more positive. Some people know how to deal with this. I don't. I just flounder along trying to make it easy for her. That's not possible, is it? So, it's time for action.
When?
Now. Tonight.
You sent for me. Did you wish to order? If so, may I suggest it's something simple. Only a skeleton staff remains in the kitchen and the restaurant. It's got its hands full with a late party of 10. Very late party.
Earlier this evening, you mentioned that my wife accompanied Councillor Berry out of the motel. Were you reporting what you'd heard or what you'd seen?
I don't understand your question.
If it was what you'd seen, did your habitual curiosity lead you to watch where they went?
That is another question I do not understand.
Did you watch them go to the car park? And if so, did you see them get into Councillor Berry's car?
Only the week before last you could have expected me to answer such a question because I was in your pay, but no longer. Find yourself another man to spy on your wife, J. Henry. Excuse me.
Kevin has a lot on his mind at the moment.
Yes, but you'd think he'd find some time to support me. He can't just... Hello, darling. Tiring day?
Listen.
Let me get you a drink.
No, don't do that.
I know. Nice long G&T.
I don't want one.
Well, to relax you.
Sal, no, I don't want one.
You, Marian, you'll join me then, won't you?
No, honestly, not for me, thanks. I must be on my way.
Nonsense.
It's a busy day tomorrow.
Just the one.
Sorry, I didn't even say hello.
Hello.
Fact is, you see, I've got something to say, so...
I'm on my way.
Marian, if Oliver has something to say, he can say it. There are no big secrets. Our great, tremendous secret's out now. It's almost common knowledge. You played your part in spreading it, remember?
Me?
Well, you told Oliver I knew, so don't let's go all coy. So, what is it, darling?
You went over to see Sharon.
That's right.
I made it perfectly clear that anything you wanted to say, you said to me.
There were things I needed to say to her that I couldn't say to you.
Right. You've done it. You pay the price.
Oh, well, what did he mean by that?
I don't know. Why didn't you just let me go? He can't talk to you properly with me here.
Didn't seem to me his style was cramped in any way. What did he mean by price?
Go and talk to him.
No. Let him calm down. I mean, I'm in the right about going to see her, aren't I?
Don't ask me.
Oh, look, will you stop pussyfooting and come down on my side just for once? I mean, I saw her face when I was there, and I saw what I wanted to see. Weakness, a chink in the armour. And when you see that, you know that you can... Oh. Oliver? Oliver? What on earth?
I'm leaving.
No.
Right now.
Oh, darling, we can...
No, we can't do anything.
We can. I'm about seeing her. I'm sorry. Yes, I know it was the wrong thing to do now, but I just thought it might be all right.
I'm going.
No, you can't. Not leave our home. You can't do
I'll
that.
phone you in the morning.
He's gone.